Hi, I'm Nirvana, and I decided to do my YouTube speech on my persuasive speech, which was making minimum wage. So, according to Investopia.org, this source gives information about the government and how he believes the prices shouldn't be raised. He believes that minimum wage should stay $7.25 and it shouldn't go up or it shouldn't go lower in 2021. But he also, on this website, also mentions that the only way minimum wage will ever go up is in 2025. And I personally believe that that's just not, that's just too long. People cannot hold out that long. This source also gives me information about how the legislation wanted to raise minimum wage to $15 in 2025. But like I said, people cannot wait that long. I want my audience to know that the minimum wage of $7.25 is not enough to live comfortably on. According to Vox.com, a man named Jordan shares his story in an article how he was working a minimum wage job and surprisingly got sick and ended up in the hospital for months. So you know what that left him? A hospital debt. And working a minimum wage job, it's going to take him months, maybe even years, to pay off this big hospital debt. So by raising minimum wage, by raising minimum wage, people will be able to pay off their debts and do a whole bunch of other things. So therefore, they won't be living in poverty. People living in poverty, depending on the government assistance, are barely making ends meet. They're struggling. They're depending on the government. They're looking for houses for them and their kids to stay in, because the ones that you can get while making minimum wage are just not good. They're not good. And Jordan, the one that told his story on Fox.com, he was only making $7.25. He worked at Dollar Tree. He worked at Dollar Tree. He was just any other regular person trying to make ends meet, trying to pay his bills on time. So he won't be depending on the government. Minimum wage should increase to a reasonable wage of $15 an hour. According to WFAY.org, a local news source, and it's a radio station, which is 90.7, he spoke with workers that were protesting on the side of the street, demanding $15 an hour. He invited them to the radio station to share their real life stories. Most of the stories were very common to each other, as in, I have a family to take care of, I have bills to pay, I can't do this, I can't do that without needing the government. And who wants to live like that? You want to live comfortably and provide for your family at all times. People stood outside protesting, chanting, "Pay us now. We can't take it no more." These are real life people that's going through real life situations, and that's depending on minimum wage to provide for them and their family. Also, if minimum wage goes up, less people will be in debt. Less people will be owing the government. According to Booking.edu, 38 million people overall don't earn enough for their household. And I believe that's ridiculous, because we are the United States, one of the richest states there is. These are real stories told by real people in this situation. To conclude my speech, according to politicsofpoverty.org, Minimum wage should increase because number one is very long overdue. Number two, it addresses long-standing racial and gender inequalities. Number three, it reduces poverty. Number four, it will fuel economic growth. Number five, it will save taxpayers money plus reduce the government programs. And number six, it's what the majority of Americans want. My future plan of getting the government to raise minimum wage and to increase the wages of 17 million Americans. It will get 900,000 people out of poverty, no longer needing the government assistance. And with my help and with my side of how minimum wage is not enough and you cannot live comfortably off $7.25. Yeah, we know there will be some downsides. Other people will lose their jobs. But they'll find others. They'll find others. Right now, people that's making minimum wage deserve a chance to live a comfortable life. They deserve to provide for their family. They don't deserve to live and work every day just to make ends meet. So to conclude my speech, the minimum wage of $7.25 is not enough to live a decent lifestyle and to provide for a family. And the stories and the protesters are proof enough to make this statement. Thank you.